Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Luchauskas. Today's the 15th of May 2018. So we're going to have a look at the markets, what's happening with them right now, what to expect from them later on, and yeah, just a few levels to watch out for. So before we continue, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll just give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. So, a quick reminder of our JFD research page here that you can find on our jfdbrokers.com website, and yeah, you can go in and check us out and check out our analysis that we do on a daily basis, different trading shoutouts, analysis in different languages, of course, as well. So yeah, I think you can find something useful for yourself, guys, here. So do not hesitate to visit us. But for now, let's have a look at the chart. So the first one I want to look at is the FTSE 100, and we can see that we are having a nice bounce here a little bit here from this level, from the 676.90 area that I was talking about this morning, and we're having a nice move to the upside. So certainly currently we're just trading at the recent highs here at around 77.30 mark. So we initially did have a push here to the upside here. We managed to reach this 77.50 mark approximately there, but then we retraced a little bit, so now we're kind of stuck slightly below the recent highs, the highs that we had on Monday and on Friday. So certainly we would need to see a nice move above those highs in order to consider further upside moves, but for now we're kind of staying cautious on this one because it's not far from this upwards moving trend line that we had running since around the 26th of March. So if we do get something like a break here below this the 7700 and then eventually the 7690 area, could end up moving towards this trend line here, getting a nice test. And of course, if we'll start breaking that trend line, then well, it's not looking good for the index, and we could see maybe a push a little bit lower towards the 7615 or even 7600, towards around this area somewhere here. So guys, I mean, for now, keep an eye on this one, keep an eye on today's closed, and if we do get a nice close above these recent highs, then well, probably there is some potential for this index to go and move towards these highs here at around 77.95. that were the highs here in January this year. So good level to watch here, but like I said, we would need to get a nice push here above these recent highs. Let's have a look at the DAX now. So the DAX is we can see that opened with a gap today a little bit here, a very small one, but nevertheless we're still below the psychological 13,000, and currently we're trading in this little range between the 12,850 and this 13,000. In order for us to kind of jump in on this one from the buy side, then we would need to see a nice break here and a nice close above the 13,000 in order to consider further upside, maybe even a move towards this 13,160. That could act as a good level of resistance initially, but if that doesn't hold, well, it could open the path towards higher levels here. But well, let's not get ahead of ourselves and let's just keep an eye on this level first. On the downside, we do, like I mentioned before, we do have this 12,850, a nice break and a close below that area could test this bottom side of the channel, this bottom side of the rising channel that the index is still within, and eventually maybe we could see even a break below that. But then again, like I said, let's not rush and let's see if it actually moves towards the 12,850 initially. So for now, keep an eye on this area, guys. Let's have a look at DXY quickly, and the DXY is showing some gains and we're moving higher, and we are moving towards this level right here, towards this 93.40 mark. I had this level highlighted, and I was talking about this level over the past couple of videos. So for now, guys, I mean, keep an eye on this level, the 93.40, and probably will act as a good level of resistance initially. But if we'll start seeing breaks above and eventually maybe a close above this level, then, well, it is opening the path towards these higher levels here. So the next good one to watch is this one right here. So, and that's around the 94.20 approximately there. Let me just quickly highlight that for the future reference, and yep, there we go, so that we would have it marked there. So now we can see that the index is trying to push here, trying to break through this 93.40, still kind of slightly above it, but nevertheless, I mean, there is some potential for this to continue pushing higher. In order, I mean, to talk about the downside here would be a bit of a difficult one, and but nevertheless, I mean, if we do get some sort of a strong reversal back down here, I mean, keep an eye on this level from which it bounced today, this 92.70 approximately there. A break below that could open the path towards these lower levels again, but for now, like I said, it is a bit difficult to talk about the downside. Now, looking at gold, and gold finally is giving us something, and we can see this nice push here to the downside. I mean, I was talking about this 1307 mark. I was telling you to keep an eye on this one, and if this is going to stay like this today, I mean, we are getting a strong here selling signal. It seems that it wants to now can move into the 1200 zone. So so now, for example, I mean, we would need to see where it will close today, because if we're going to get a close here below the 1300s, now this is a psychological level that we were keeping an eye on, and if we'll close below the 1300, I mean, it is opening the path back into these 1200s. So, but we will probably have to evaluate it there after today. So for now, of course, certainly it's not looking very healthy, I would say, like that. So keep an eye on this one, guys. Keep an eye on the close, especially because, like I said, we could end up moving even lower. So let's have a look at quickly the euro dollar. Now the euro dollar is also in the selling mode. We can see because of the stronger dollar. So now I was talking about this level this morning as a potential level here on the downside, and this 1.18200 approximately there. Now if we're gonna get a below here, I mean, this is not looking good for the euro as well, and we could end up moving here towards this area at 117.150 approximately there. Watch out for this area, of course, guys. I mean, it could act as a good level of support. It acted as a good level of support here in December 2017. So watch out for this level initially, but that is of course only if we get a nice break here below the 118.200. For now, like I said, it seems that it wants to continue pushing lower. I mean, the strength of the dollar is driving this pair lower. So I mean, let's see where it wants to close today. Let's have a look at the Euro GBP now. So the Euro GBP is also selling off a little bit. Certainly, it's not only the Euro who's selling off against the dollar, it's also the GBP, but we'll get to that later on. And now we can see that Euro is kind of slightly weaker than the pound, and currently aiming here towards this level right here that I've got marked, the 0.87600 approximately there. Also, this coincides with the bottom side of the rising channel that we've got here, the short-term rising channel, of course, because on the bigger picture you can see that it's still within the long-term downwards moving channel. So I'm talking about right now this this short-term rising channel. We could end up testing this the bottom side of it if, of course, the pair stays here below the 0.87600 0.87 950 mark. Now this level, watch out for this level, guys. Yesterday it acted as a good level of support. I mean, the price closed just on that one, on the line. So now we're moving lower a little bit. Certainly we could get a scenario here, as you can see from these arrows. We could get something like a move here to the upside and start breaking the 0.87 950, and then of course the 0.88 mark, and then push higher. But for that we would need to see a nice reversal first. So for now, guys, I mean, keep an eye on the bottom side here, on this bottom side of the rising channel. Let's quickly have a look at the GBP now. So GBP USD, also similar story as in the euro, selling off a little bit here. We're testing this area that I had highlighted in the past, this 1.3455. Now a nice break and a close below this area could signal further potential declines here in this pair. I mean, probably we can start getting rid of this line here. It's just in our way, and of course, like I said, if we get a nice break here below the 134.55 mark, we could end up moving towards this low right here, guys. Just let me highlight that for you, and that's around the 133 mark, roughly speaking. So 133 is the next level to watch, of course, but only if we get a nice break below the 34.55. So watch out for this one, guys. Let's have a look at the an interesting one that I want to show you guys is the Aussie yen. Certainly selling off here a little bit as well. We are in this, let me just get rid of this line because it's irrelevant here. So we are trading in this little triangle formation here, and now, of course, like I said, we're moving away from this 82.60 mark. So currently all our eyes are on this one, on these 81.90 level, as an next potential area of support. And slightly below that, if we do get a break below that, it could end up moving towards this bottom side of the triangle formation. So for now, of course, it's not looking healthy unless we get a total reversal today, by the end of today, of course, and we'll close above this 50 EMA shown here as the red line, and we'll close above this one, and if we'll get closer again towards this 82.60 mark, now we could maybe see something like a pop here and a move back up, and test this upper side of the triangle formation. So for now, guys, keep an eye on this one. It's an interesting formation right now. Certainly, like I said, keep an eye on today's close, but if this continues selling off like this, we might end up seeing this 81.90 level tested. So yeah, guys, keep an eye on this one. Let's have a look at the USD JPY now quickly, and the USD JPY is giving us a nice pop here. You probably understand why. The dollar is driving this, so we managed to break through this 110 mark, the psychological 110. We took the price, USD JPY took the rate here towards this 110.200, and now we're just trading around this area. We'll just have to keep an eye on it, because the next level here that we've got is the 110.500, approximately there. This is the next potential resistance area. A break above that, I mean, could send it a little bit higher, maybe even towards this 111 mark. But for now, like I said, let's not get ahead of ourselves and just keep an eye on this one. Certainly, it's difficult to talk about the downside, because we could, I mean, for us to kind of become more bearish on this one, we would need to see a nice reversal back down here below the psychological 110 level, and a move towards this bottom side of the rising channel, and then maybe eventually a break of that one. But again, like I said, for now, it's really looking strong. Let's quickly have a look at the USD CHF. Now, an interesting bounce here. We're seeing this move above this psychological 1 level. Certainly, the next aim here is the 101.006 mark. Keep an eye on that one. If we get a nice break, certainly I doubt that we might get a break today, but eventually, maybe during this week, we might end up moving towards this level again. And if we do, well, I mean, a break above that could signal signal some more buying activity, and we could aim for higher levels. So for us to become more bearish on this one, we would need to see a nice break here below the 0.9980, and that would probably take the price back into this rising channel formation. So okay guys, I will have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you join me later tomorrow morning in my Traders Espresso at 7 o'clock British Summer Time, 6 o'clock GMT. And as always guys, keep an eye on the price action, and thank you very much. Bye bye.